Hi, I'm here to do a review today of Tron Ares or Ares, whatever you want to call it. I just recently got back from the movie theater, and I have to say that it's a really pretty damn good movie, even though it isn't what I really wanted from a Tron movie. It's really I don't even know if it's a sequel to Tron Legacy or the original Tron movie. But all I can say is that it's basically its own story and pretty much telling all three movies. Continuing where it left off from 82. I think it's more of a sequel to the 82 movie than Legacy, but it's kind of a shame that they didn't bring back the original actors from Tron Legacy because would have I would have preferred that. A proper sequel of Tron Legacy you know, instead of this standalone sequel. Um, my expectations were low, but I was positively sure that it would impress me, and I still appreciate it for what it was, regardless of how much I dislike this. Dislike some things about this movie. You know, this movie is basically a glimpse into what the threats of modern AI and also how it might turn out differently, and if we act as honorable acts models who balance power and responsibility. And the team at Disney truly did create a homage and many wonderful moments to the original Tron 82 movie and Legacy, while preserving both old stories lines, leaving the door open for a possible next movie, which I don't really think is going to be coming out anytime soon. Probably going to wait 15 more years for this. But we'll have to wait and see. Um, yeah, so Bruce Boxleitner said in an interview recently, if you love the Tron franchise and want to see more, go to the movie theaters and do your part for a great box office success, which I don't really think will be doing good in the box office because this movie is not a big hit, but I really doubt it. So yeah. Yeah, so you have this new program called Tron Air, Ares, called Ares, right? There's no sign of Sam Flynn. There's no sign of Quora. There's no sign of Alan Bradley, which is kind of a disappointment to me. I would have loved to see more of them, but instead we get a new program called Ares, which is a program created by Dillinger, and ordered him and told him to do directive orders like steal codes from Encom. But for some reason, he turns out to be, change a new leaf after learning a little bit more about Kim. And, um, yeah, the light cycles look very gorgeous. The red light cycles, and pretty much like this right here. It looks like this is the cup of Tron Air. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's right here. And this is the light cycle, all red. I got this from the movie theaters, by the way. Really nice. I also have the bucket too, which I don't have right now. Yeah, it's really nice. But you know, like the light cycles look gorgeous. You know, the lights, it looks gorgeous. The visuals look gorgeous. The action sequence is what keeps me watching and tuning into this movie. But the only thing I don't like is this new character development and storytelling. It's really piss poor. I just don't see much of continuing the story of Legacy, more like the original 82 movie. We got to see a little bit more of Kevin Flynn, even though it was very short, where Ares met Kevin Flynn in the old grid or the arcade. But that would have been a really good moment. Too bad it didn't last too long. And I was kind of bummed about that, but what can you do? Yeah, well, it's like it's either I think that the characters are actually decent or they're just super bland to me. I don't even know. I'm just like in the middle of what I think of this movie. I'm just like in the middle. I have mixed opinions about it. I'm like in the very middle of my thoughts about if it's either bland or it's either decent. I can't really tell which I prefer. Yeah, it's basically, you know, I mean, the guy to play Ares, Jared Leto, you know, the guy from Morbius, which I thought people said it was a bad movie, and uh, and also Blade Runner 2049, which is a really great cyberpunk movie. And I'm gonna be doing a video about that after I'm done with this one. So look out for that. I thought his character wasn't terrible or anything. And, you know, yes, but I couldn't stand too much of Greta Lee and you know, it's pretty obnoxious when she's like, oh, you know, fearing when she was trying to escape with Eris out of the grid after being thrown in the grid and whatnot. You know, to be honest, it'd be better if I didn't see any more of these two instead of just, you know, in the next movie, because these two are really disappointing to me. I just don't know how to deal with getting into Eris and Greta Lee. The chemistry as you know how in this movie doesn't really do it for me. Visuals and soundtrack were great, like I've been saying. But the rest of this film was very trite, circumspect, failing to like explore some of the more interesting things surrounding AI. Because of this, story became a little weak and a little uninteresting at times. regarding some of the amazing visuals, there were some like heavy nostalgic elements in the third, fourth act that were like incredibly entertaining to watch. In the IMAX, even though I didn't see it on IMAX, I basically couldn't make it to an IMAX near where I live because it's far. Where I went is a small theater with not too many people in the movie theater. That's actually where I went to see it because it was much closer to where I'm from. Jeff Bridges' cameo was a little mildly disappointing and still grand and lore reflective. I can't emphasize enough how well the music complemented the action and visuals, which at times made it more like a ride in this movie. And the ending was pretty weak, like really weak. I truly found um, to Jodie's character to be most emotionally compelling of the cast, which led to some disappointment when they attempted to humanize her, only for, you know, not lead to anywhere. Closing was exciting if you trust Disney to continue the story rather than make you wait for like another 15 years. Because by the time the new movie comes out, I'm probably going to be nuts. I'm probably going to be dead or old, really old. I don't even know, but so yeah, I really expected a little bit more for this movie. Even though it was good to see Kevin Flynn back in the film, but we didn't see too much of him in this movie, so it's not it's not really fair. Just that we basically didn't get to see more time with him. I don't think this movie was a sequel to Tron Legacy. It's definitely like another story being told, or whatnot. It's basically, you know, not what I really wanted in a Tron movie, but it was still great because of its visuals and the soundtrack, and that's what makes it up for the movie, not the actual story. The story was bland. But to me, I think Tron Legacy is actually a much better movie to me. Like it's actually more memorable to me than Tron Ares. Tron Ares, there was forgettable moments in this movie that doesn't hold a candle for me. It's just not what I had in mind, but for those, people probably have watched it on IMAX or IMAX 3D or whatever the heck, but not me. I wasn't able to. Maybe I should go again for an IMAX or 3D experience just for this movie because this was my favorite franchise since Legacy. I actually never got to see the 82 movie until I was like 19 years old. So, well, yeah. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I mean, it's worth the experience on 3D, I guess. Like it's basically worth the experience of IMAX. Or if you don't like that, and just watch it regularly. You know, there's one more thing I gotta show you. I'll be back. Yeah, I may not like the movie that much, but I love this beautiful ball that I got from the theater. You know, it's got a really nice, complex light in the front. This is basically the popcorn bucket that I just got from the mall. I mean, excuse me, from the theater. I mean, that's where I got to, that's actually where I got to see this movie, at the mall. Yeah, so it's really nice. It's really rad and radical. Really cool stuff. Yeah, so. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been too long. Like I said, you know, I really expected so much more for this, and it's not what I really. It's not really where I was wanting a sequel for Tron Legacy. It's not really a sequel. It's basically a different story. A different story that's not continuing from the last movie. Well, anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.